So we're going to go over 3 different properties of real numbers that can come in handy, make things a little easier as we do algebra and other things. So the first one we're going to talk about is the commutative property. Commutative property. And this works for addition and multiplication. So what this means, if you have a plus b, so this is the addition one, this is equal to b plus a. So basically it's saying that it doesn't matter which order you add two things, it's going to come out the same. They're going to be equal. Same thing for multiplication. A times b is the same as b times a. So you might be asked to write an equivalent expression, write an equivalent expression for, let's say, 6x plus 2. So 6x plus 2, an equivalent expression would be 2 plus 6x. So it doesn't matter which way you add it, 6x plus 2, or first do 2 and then add 6x. How about, let's make one a little trickier. How about negative 3 plus 6? Negative 3 plus 6. So an equivalent expression for negative 3 plus 6, if we change the order, this would be 6 plus negative 3. So notice the negative goes with the 3, like we've been learning. So that has to stay, the negative has to stay with the 3. So it's going to, instead of negative 3 plus 6, 6 plus negative 3. Same with multiplication. If we had 2a times 5, that should be the same as 5 times 2a. 2a times 5, that'd be, if we actually wanted to figure it out, that'd be 10a. 5 times 2a would still be 10a. I mean, we could simplify those last two examples and see that it would be the same thing on either side. So that's called the commutative property. The next one is the associative property. Associative. So here we have 3 either numbers or variables, and they can be grouped differently. So this is kind of more like a grouping one. So if we have a plus b in parentheses plus c, this should be the same as a plus, in parentheses, b plus c. So with addition, it doesn't matter which ones you add first. You can do the first 2 and then add the third one, or you can add the second and third and then add the first. So it can be done in different orders. Same with multiplication. A times b in parentheses times c would be the same as a times, in parentheses, b times c. So for example, I'll do one with just numbers and we'll figure out that it would be the same. If we do 3 plus 7 plus, let's throw in a negative 2, that should be the same as 3 plus 7 plus negative 2. Just putting the parentheses now around the 7 plus negative 2. It's in a different color. So if we had done 3 plus 7 is 10, 10 plus negative 2 is 8. Let's see if we get the same thing on the other side. We should. Put a little question mark. 3 plus 7 plus negative 2 is 5. 3 plus 5 is 8. Yep, it worked out. It would work the same if we had done multiplication. So with multiplication, let's do one with variables now. If we had 3x times y times z, that would be the same as 3x times y times z in parentheses. So basically, I mean, if we multiply those together, we would just end up with 3xyz on either side. They're all just multiplied together. And using the commutative property we just talked about, that would be the same as if we did 3 xzy, or if we did 3yxz, or I could do those in all different kinds of orders. They would all be the same. Okay, the last one we're going to talk about is the distributive property. Distributive property. So this says that if we have A and then parentheses, B plus C, we can multiply each part in the parentheses by A. So do A times B plus A times C. So that A in front means multiply, and so since A is being multiplied by that whole thing in parentheses, we just multiply each part one at a time. So let's do one with just numbers first, and then we'll do one with variables. So if I had 2 parentheses times 6 plus 3. So using the property, this should be the same as 2 times 6 plus 2 times 3. So let's do a little check that this comes out. So this is saying 2 times 6 plus 3 is 9. So we get 18 on that side. So let's see if we get the same thing on the right side. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. 12 plus 6, yep, that is 18. So it works out. Okay. Now, I mean, if we have all numbers, we would obviously just do the parentheses first and then multiply using our order of operations. But for something like the next one, if I have 5 parentheses 2x minus 4, well, now I would have to use the distributive property if I want to do something else with that. So, and sometimes too I like to show, I'm going to multiply there and multiply there. And this one I'm going to go underneath. So 5 times 2x, 5 times 2, that's going to be 10x. Minus, so notice in the rule it's a plus, but if it was a minus, you can just bring it down a minus. 5 times 4, 20. So we have to remember to multiply both parts by the 5. Let's do one more. Works the same if I had 3 things. Let's, I'm going to do a negative here. Negative 3 times 5x minus y plus 2. And I could have kept that going. It doesn't matter how many things are in the parentheses. You can distribute to, in this case, 3 things or more. So negative 3 is going to be multiplied by each part of that. So negative 3 times 5x, negative 15x. A negative 3 times a minus y. Or if it helps, change this to plus a negative y. A negative 3 times a negative y, negative times negative, becomes a plus 3y. And then negative 3 times a positive 2 or plus 2, negative 3 times 2, that's going to be a minus 6. Or if you have plus negative 6, that's fine too. So those are the 3 properties.